Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a yoga flow and yin yoga class. So the first part of class, we're going to do a little bit of flow. We'll go through some sun salutations. And then toward that back half of class, we're going to settle into some deep yin yoga hip openers. So stick around, we'll get right to it. Hey, and as always, if you want to join me in person for a class, you can scan that QR code down there in the corner. I've got classes in Louisville and Pleasureville in Kentucky, or you can become a member at theyogamat.com. You get access to this class live as I record it, and 2 weeks before it ever appears on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming up to the top of your mat. Again, we have a few sun salutations that we're going to go through. So let's start to work on that deep breathing. And we want to go through Ujjayi breath here for this yang portion of class. So let's breathe in deep, in and out your nose. And letting the air start to rush against the back of your throat. And exhale, relax your arms. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step to a high push-up. And navel drawing in here, lower down, hover. And then press into your back bend, come into upward facing. And back over your toes for down dog. Good. So again, we got down dogs here for the yang portion of class. I got the feet hip width. Hands shoulder width. And might want to warm up the back of the legs here a little bit more. So bend your left knee and then see if you can send that right heel a little bit closer down to the floor. And you can change sides. We'll bend that right knee, press the left heel down. And a few more times you can go back and forth on your own. And start to reach both heels back down. Bend your knees, look forward, step the feet up. Lengthen, look up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, back up, lift the arms, and exhale, hands back to center. Again, inhale, reach, lift, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up to the horizon, and then exhale, plank. And plank to your low push-up. Inhale to your back bend, upward facing. Downward dog as you exhale. And so if you want to get into the back of the legs a little bit more, go ahead and pedal the feet. Otherwise, you can just reach both heels straight down. Holding here for just a few more rounds of breath. Bend your knees, look forward, step the feet up. Lengthen, look up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, hands to center. Again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank. Plank to low push-up. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. And so try to press the floor just a little bit further away here. And broadening through the shoulders. And bend the knees, look forward, step the feet up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to center. Let's do a few more of those. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plank. And if you need to modify your push-ups, the knees to the floor. Go ahead and lower down again. Inhale, upward dog. Try to lift the thighs off of your mat. And downward facing as you exhale. And you got child's pose if you need to stop and take a little rest. You can drop your knees down to your mat. And reaching the arms out in front and then your hips back towards your heels. So that's your resting pose in the yang portion of class. When we get to yin, we'll do something a little bit different. Bend the knees, look forward, step it up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to center. Good. And go ahead and take one more round on your own. So whenever you're finished, we'll stay here at the top of the mat. And a few rounds of breath here. And then we're going to continue with our flowing portion of class. And try to even the breath out. You can inhale to a number, maybe to a count of 4 or 5. And exhaling for the same thing. And exhale, relax the arms again. Inhale, lift them back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right leg back, knee down. Then take a low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And release, hands to the floor. Step to a high push-up. Lower down again. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. So let's spend a little bit of time here in down dog. And you're trying to press the mat further away from you. On the inhales, the exhales, we're just trying to reach the heels a little bit closer down to the floor. And with your next exhale, right foot forward, left knee to your mat. Inhale, low lunge, reach the arms. And release, hands down. We'll step that back foot in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, back up. And exhale, hands to center. Other side, inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left leg back, low lunge. Inhale, arms come up. Go ahead and release. Take your hands to the floor. Step to a plank. Again, flow through that vinyasa. Let's end up in downward dog again. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And let's step that left foot forward. Inhale, low lunge, reach the arms up. And release, hands to the floor, back foot stepping in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, back up. And hands back to center. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, right leg back, knee to your mat. Inhale, reach both arms overhead, little back bend. And release, hands to the floor, plank to low push-up. Upward dog, inhale, and downward facing exhale. And taking your gaze to one spot on your mat, right back between the feet. And let's finish this side, right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And release, hands to the floor, left foot forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to center. And go ahead and work through that other side on your own. So you'll take your left leg back, and then your left leg forward will be for your lunges. Yeah, it's on your own. So take your time, finish up. Whenever you're done, you can go ahead and make your way down to your mat. Have a blanket here for our yin portion of class. Yeah, you may or may not need it. It'll just be there in case that you do. So let's start in tabletop. And we're going to take Swan Pose. So we'll bring the right knee toward the outside of the right wrist, and then we'll work on taking this left leg a little bit further back here. So in yin, you can, again, let that ujjayi breath go. Try to relax all your muscles when you're here. We're targeting this outer right hip and your glute area. If you feel any amount of stress at all in your knee, then I want you to take this alternative pose. So collapsed swan. You're just going to lean all the way over into this right leg until the knee can drop down into the floor. You got about roughly 2 90-degree angles here with the legs. And again, as long as it's in that right hip, in the glute, not in the knee, you could begin to fold a little bit further forward. So you got this collapsed swan, you have regular swan, or sleeping swan rather. And one of those will work a little bit better for you than the other. But again, they're both going to get into the same spot. So we're just trying to apply mild to moderate amounts of stress to that area. Again, you want to think of it as stress that you're applying and not necessarily something that you're trying to stretch, because yin's going to get into your connective tissue, your joints, your ligaments, your fascia. And again, we just want little amounts of stress. We're not trying to stretch ligaments out. So these poses are going to be held for a couple minutes at a time, again, to get into that target area. And in the beginning part of class, when we were doing yang, we didn't really hold anything for more than 5 breaths at a time. So that's why that was more targeted toward muscle. And again, yin's trying to go a little bit deeper here. So we're getting close to about the halfway mark that we're going to spend in this pose. And so you can make any adjustments that you need to if it's getting above that moderate level. And again, you want to think of this on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0, you wouldn't be feeling anything. 10, you'd be in a lot of pain. So mild to moderate's around a 2 to 4. If it's gone above that moderate, then you might come up to your forearms. You might come back up onto your hands. You could put a blanket underneath that right glute, something that's going to lessen it a little bit. If it gets too mild, then try to position yourself to go a little bit deeper. So you could work that left leg a little bit further back. You could take the arms further forward. You could lower down a bit more. If you're in the collapsed swan, instead of folding over the right thigh, you could start to fold over the shin. You could fold toward that right ankle to add a little bit more stress to it. So, and you always got several options that you can take with this. Start time, start to make your way back up to your hands. You're going to lean all the way over into that right glute. And let's bring the left leg around in front. So I'm going to do the straight leg version for a counter pose. So you can just take both legs out, hands behind you to support yourself. And you can just rock your ankles side to side. You can bounce knees up and down. Windshield wipers. That's another alternative counter pose. You can take your feet to the edges of your mat and just let the knees drop from one side to the next, and just like a windshield wiper. Just something that's going to, again, get things moving again, feel like stuff is unstuck. And when that's been enough, then we'll set it for the other side. So let's start back in the table and slowly bring that left knee forward. And I know that I need to take collapsed swan for my knee on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and move into that. If you want to take sleeping swan instead, and you can work through that version. Sleeping swan, you could also target this hip flexor on the right leg. But again, collapsed, we're leaning over to the left until the knee is able to drop down to the floor. And if you have any sort of knee pain that you deal with, again, collapsed swan is a much better pose to take than just a regular swan. Again, you can lower down when you're ready. Be here for the same amount of time that we had on the other side. As you can see, there's usually a little bit of difference between your right and your left. You could do one pose on your right side. You might have to do something completely different on the other. And again, that's fine because we're going by target areas and levels of stress, so it can be a different pose. You could even do the same pose, but they might look completely different. Maybe you come all the way down on your right side, but you stay up a little bit higher on the other. So again, judging by levels of stress and not what the pose aesthetically looks like. Again, at any point you want to deepen it or back off, and you can make any adjustments that you need to here. Time on this side, go ahead and work your way back up. You're going to lean over into that left side again. Let's bring the right leg around. Okay. Same counter poses on this side. So straight legs or windshield wipers, whichever one works a little bit better for you. And windshield wipers could bother your knee if you're dealing with any issues there. So again, straight legs, always an alternative. And go ahead and lie down on your back. So we're going to take a twist. Again, twists are set up a little bit differently in yin. We're going to have the feet on the floor. Then you're going to lift your butt up. You want to set it a couple inches over to the left, and then pull your knees in. From here, roll all the way over to your right side. And then you can open that left arm out to the side. So let's go ahead and start our time here again. So targeting that outer left hip and left glute, but again, you don't want to get into this knee at all. And you might be able to get the left part of your chest as well here. So potential target area, you may need to take a 90-degree bend in this left arm to get into that spot. And you've got a couple variations you can take here. If this is too much stress the way you are, if you have that blanket, you can grab the blanket, you can put it between the knees, you can put it underneath that bottom one, just so they're not dropping down so far. So that's how you take stress away. If you need to add stress to it, then your bottom leg, you just want to get it out of the way so the top leg could drop down a little bit further. So you would take that right leg toward the front of your mat, and the left knee would either drop down, touch the floor, or you could put a prop underneath it if you need. Let's go ahead and bring this left arm back in. We'll stay here on your right side. Come back up to center. Go ahead and recenter the hips. And again, we'll get a little off center. Pick the hips up, set them over to the right. And the knees drawing in. Roll to your left. And you can open the right arm out when you're ready. So again, see if you're in that mild to moderate range, and then adjust as you need to. time, go ahead and bring your right arm back in, staying here on the left side. We'll come back to center, recenter the hips, and release. Let's take relaxation here for these last few minutes that we've got. Legs out long, palms face up either side of you. And close your eyes, relax. Take your time, start to make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And hands to your heart, eyes closed. Thanks for practicing. Have a great day. Namaste. Be sure you like and subscribe to this video. And you can check out that QR code at the end of class. You can come join me in person. See you next time. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that class. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to get a new short form class every week. And if you like what you see and you want to support me, go become a member at theyogamat.com. You'll get unlimited live virtual classes every week and access to our on-demand library with over 500 classes in it. Have a great day. Namaste.